Hi, everyone. This is Jake McNeil.
And this is Jenn Ip.
I figured after the big reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2, we'd do kind of our thoughts and reactions to this. Although this isn't a live reaction video, we both already seen the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. But I figured we would give our thoughts on everything that we saw. And yeah, so let's get this going. So I think this video might have broken YouTube because at one point during the stream it just kind of died.
Yeah, and it makes me feel bad for the games that were being shown at the time.
Yeah.
So when this was paneling in, I was like, oh, it's a new IP, and then we see Mario on his cart.
I mean, you saw the Yoshi building right there.
Yeah, but still, I was like, oh, is this a new IP? So for me, this was kind of underwhelming.
Like a new Yoshi game?
Yeah, or like, I don't know. I was hoping for like an Old West sort of game or something, but it doesn't
Oh,
make
because
sense.
of the harmonica.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they did show a little bit of this game in the initial, 2-minute Nintendo Switch reveal. So from that, I think a lot of people spotted it right off the bat. I mean, right from the start, I was thinking, this looks nice. It looks like a Mario Kart game. Mario Kart's always looked good. But I wasn't seeing anything that really impressed me.
The only thing that impressed me about this was the option to free roam.
Well, see, you're getting ahead of me because I'm saying at this point in the trailer,
Yeah.
I'm like, it looks nice. I got nothing against it. And then they revealed that it's like an open world Mario Kart game.
Yeah, that part where you get into the semi-truck was kind of neat.
Yeah, they're revealing all kinds of little gameplay things here. Like you can grind on rails, you can wall ride and wall jump. And that's a cool idea. That's really going to change up the gameplay, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing I think everybody's going to have an eye on is the open world stuff. And I still think that we don't know enough about how that will work. Like, will there be goals or
in Zelda, Korok seeds to pick up, funny little things to spice up the game.
Find the toad, that kind of thing.
Yes, that sort of thing. I can see myself just, playing the game to enjoy the scenery and kind of decompressing after a long day.
I could see that. And, I mean, it's Nintendo. I'm sure they have something in mind. It's just we haven't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I found myself after this Direct asking myself, okay, so what is their big killer app? Because every game system launch has to have a killer app. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, no. Mario Kart actually makes a lot of sense. Not just because it's the best-selling game on the original Switch, but I'm like, when I take in mind the fact that this is open world, that it's 24 racers. I'm not sure if that means it's 24 players online, but I would think so.
I would think so, and I hope so. I think this is also where they show off how you can travel between the courses, and that's kind of a part of the game as well. Yeah, the Grand Prix, which I think is normally what happens.
See, the thing that I think would be cool, I don't see Nintendo doing this, but it would be cool if you could kind of set up your own race routes and then challenge friends to race them.
Yeah, that would be kind of neat, right?
Like, I don't know how you would do it, but maybe just get from point A to point B to point C, that kind of thing. And they didn't say anything about doing that, but if they did have a feature like that, that would be amazing.
That would be pretty cool.
And they could always add stuff like that, or even add new areas to explore.
Or like an edit the track sort of feature.
Yeah, they could always add stuff in post-launch, like DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the big controversy regarding this game, they revealed after the Direct, or it leaked, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was officially from Nintendo. This game is going to cost $80. Now, you can get this game packed in with the Nintendo Switch 2 for an extra $50, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to do.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would prefer to get this game in physical form, and that bundle only comes with the digital version.
Oh, interesting.
So, I mean, for me, I'm going to get the bundle because I prefer digital anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure for a lot of people, that price is just outrageous.
Yeah, and I would honestly prefer the physical bundle because of the storage space.
Well, there's not going to be a physical bundle, is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I would prefer that over having to do a digital download.
Yeah. So they're going to have more info on that in a future direct.
I'm kind of curious about what they're going to say.
Yeah, me too. So at this point, the Nintendo employees, and it's all these like new young people too. I don't think we've seen any of these guys in previous directs.
You would know more than me.
Yeah. Now they're going to go into the big new feature in the hardware, which is the new chat feature, which is kind of funny. Nintendo is making a big deal of a feature that every other console has had for multiple generations now.
Oh, your chair is so squeaky.
Yeah, I'm sorry for people who are listening to this. I tried to use WD-40. It didn't take. I don't know what to say. So, on the one hand, this is way better than what the Nintendo Switch 1 had, and I'm really glad they're adding it.
It should have been there in the first place.
It really should have, yeah.
What I'm worried about with that chat feature is how it's going to affect your frame rates, especially in this mode where, you see the screens of all your friends and you're also playing a game.
It looks like they really hard throttle the frame rates of the other streams that you're streaming when you're streaming video on this. So I get the feeling this isn't going to affect your this isn't going to affect your own gameplay. It's just you're not going to get great frame rates on the streams from other players.
Right.
And the big joke everybody's making comparisons to is, Nintendo added Discord because there's a lot of similarities there.
There is a lot.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's an interface that works.
Yes.
We should talk about the microphone here.
I have serious doubts about that microphone.
Yeah, I don't know how well the noise canceling is going to work. Nintendo seems to be confident about it, but that's something we're definitely going to have to test when
I'm not very confident about it whatsoever. Yeah. I also feel like a lot of people are going to accidentally press that C button in the game and just be like, oh crap.
I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue because, like, if you're holding the controller in your hands, it's going to be way down here.
We'll see. I can see myself pressing it on accident. Yeah, I see the frame rates are kind of throttled.
Yeah, so that was another thing a lot of people noticed is when you're getting the video feed from other players, it is not very high frame rate.
No, and I don't know. I would find that annoying personally. Like, why do I need to see how you're doing?
I'm definitely a little disappointed in it. I think it's the kind of thing that people will get used to. But I mean, that doesn't mean it's great. It just means that people will get used to it.
Yeah.
I do think it's cool that you can stream other games.
I do appreciate that.
Like they're showing Mario, there's Pikmin. Someone's playing Donkey Kong. So, I mean, that's cool. You don't need to be in the same thing. That means it's a unified interface across the entire platform. It's not just an in-game thing.
Yeah.
Which,
oh gosh, it's so throttled.
That was one of the big issues on the original Switch too. I mean, some games did have voice chat, but it was like a pick and choose. The developer had to basically work it into the game. So I think if memory serves, I want to say Fortnite had it. But yeah, I mean, we've had unified voice chat interfaces since the Xbox 360. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy that it took them this long to add it.
I will say, I don't think most game consoles have a sort of streaming / webcam feature.
No, that's kind of unique to this. Now, the webcam, they're going to show it in a moment here on the video. Apparently it retails for $50, which seems fairly reasonable.
I think that's reasonable.
And later on in the video, you're going to see here, they worked in some features that really remind me of Xbox Connect from the Xbox One. Like,
I loved that
motion control games where it's sensing where you're putting your hands and all that.
It was great when I was playing Just Dance.
Mm.
because I didn't need to hold a controller like you have to now or use your phone.
And I may be weird in that I'm one of the people who actually thought that Microsoft gave up on the Kinect way too soon because it has a lot of potential.
It does.
The issue is people were upset when the Xbox One launched, like multiple times over. They were upset that the Xbox, like at the time they were saying that it would have to be online all the time to DRM check all of your games. And then on top of that, you wouldn't be able to own your games. It would be like locked to your system and you wouldn't be able to sell it. And then on top of that, you had to buy the camera with the system, and that price was worked into the price of the system. So people lost their minds at the Kinect launch, at the Xbox One launch, and Microsoft had to backtrack so much on a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you really want developers to be able to work in these camera features, you want to kind of have that locked in right at the start so that you know that your audience is going to have access to that. Otherwise, why would you design a game for features that they might not be able to use?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Nintendo, they're not including the camera here. You have to buy it in addition, so they're not doing that.
I am also curious if that camera will work with other consoles or my computer.
Well, Nintendo has said that it will not require a Nintendo branded camera, that any camera will work as long as it meets the specifications.
Oh.
So I imagine that's just a camera. So you could probably get your own. You just want to make sure you get one that's compatible. I imagine it has something to do with the resolution or the frame rate or something needs to be up to a certain spec.
I also wonder if kids right now prefer playing on consoles versus PC. I'm very curious about that. Because it was different when you and I were growing up.
You're missing something.
Yeah.
Smartphones.
That's
I think
true.
a lot of kids prefer playing on smartphones.
The screens are so tiny.
You know, that doesn't bother everyone.
Oh, that bothers me so much.
So now they're getting into another feature, and this is something that Nintendo actually did on the Nintendo DS and 3DS, which is Game Share, which lets you take one copy of a game, usually for multiplayer games, and share it to multiple other people so you can all play on your own device just using one game.
That's neat.
I'm really glad this is coming back. It'll make it a lot easier to play games that you really need to have your own screen in particular. Like the big game that they highlighted here was Clubhouse Games, which is on the original Nintendo Switch. But just like picture playing a game of poker, well, you would want to have your own screen so that other players couldn't see your cards.
Exactly.
And they're saying they're going to do that with some Nintendo Switch 2 games. So I can picture them making use of that for asymmetrical play.
Oh, I do like how the Joy-Cons are magnetic. I really disliked having to slide them in.
Yeah, that slide rail, I mean, especially after years of use, feels kind of janky now.
It doesn't feel intuitive at all.
So now they're going through a lot of the hardware features. They're going to start talking about the screen. One of the things that I think really wowed a lot of people about this is not only is it a 4K screen, but it goes up to 120 frames per second. And
that's pretty astounding to me.
Now, that's not going to be in every game. You're not going to have every game in, 4K 120 frames per second. And they even showed off the Metroid game later on in this. It's like one or the other. You either get 1080 with 120 frames per second or 4K at, I want to say it was like 60.
Which I am fine with.
Yeah, I feel like either of those are really good options, and it's going to make for a really smooth, good-looking game.
Yeah.
So here's the magnetic Joy-Cons that you were talking about.
I'm so glad that's a thing.
I'm really curious to test. I've heard people who have tried this out in person because they've already started doing events for the press, have said that it actually really sticks on there tight until you push the thing. Oh, this I was really super thrilled about.
I'm so happy that's a thing.
The what is it, SL and SR buttons on the original Joy-Cons are terrible. You can barely press them. They're so tiny. They didn't mention if it has Hall effect sticks, which I'm a little uncertain about.
I'm very curious about the mouse controls too.
Oh, I think this has so much potential. You're going to get a lot more like PC game experiences on a
Mm-hmm.
console, which you can't even do on like the PlayStation or Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
But they're, starting out, you have games like Civilization that are just saying, yeah, use it like a mouse, like on your PC.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, they're going to show this drag and drive game
Mm-hmm. In a
that
moment.
they're
Yeah.
making use of it in really interesting ways, like you're pulling on wheels on a wheelchair. There's a game they're going to be showing off soon where you put the mouse down and it's tracking the mouse movement, but it's also using a gyroscope to track the angle too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of potential there. We're skipping over so many features as we're talking about this.
Well, okay, so I'm not expecting much out of the new speakers that they're talking about here.
Yeah.
Because I just like the mic and the speakers, I have serious doubts about it performing really well.
But there they were talking about how it supports headphones that have 3D audio. And
That
like
I'm
that
excited
could be
about.
cool.
That
I don't have a 3D headset yet, but apparently I'm going to need to get one
you
at
might
some
have
point.
to, yeah.
So now they're talking about the extra USB port, which is going to be convenient.
I like that because I like what they're showing here. There are moments where I'm like, I really want to play it in tablet mode, but it's kind of low on battery.
Yeah. And I hear the battery on the Switch 2 is going to be less than the Switch 1. Like, not like lower, but like because it's playing more powerful games.
Oh, I see.
And here they're going over the memory now. And I think for a lot of players, they're seeing this and they're celebrating it's like 8 times the amount of built-in memory. For me, who has 3,000 digital games, I'm like, oh, that's not enough.
Oh, you've gotten to 3,000 now?
Oh, I'm over like 3,200.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
And that's just the games I've reviewed. I think I own over 4,000 games.
I have to wonder who owns the most games in the world on their Switch.
Well, they're going to have to play Nintendo Switch Triage on this because they won't be able to fill all their games on it.
Oh, the fan. I wonder if there's a way for us to get into there and clean the fan.
I don't know. I'm dubious to that. I don't feel like Nintendo likes people working around the innards of their
No, but
their
still,
devices.
it's a fan. It's going to have to be cleaned. Otherwise, you run into overheating issues.
I don't know. There have been fans on other devices. Like, I've never had to clean out the fan on my Xboxes or my PlayStations. So I feel like now they're going to get into... what is it? The Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, I think they called it.
I think so. The Digital Lab.
Yeah, and we're getting ahead of ourselves here. They're not showing it just yet. It's like, now I send it off to the other guy, and I'm in the game right now.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. I don't like how we have to pay for this.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people feel that way.
This really seems like it should have just been included for free.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, compare this to on the PlayStation 5, you had Astro's Playroom, which was in itself an incredible game and also a really good showcase of the features of the PlayStation 5, and that was free. And it looks like this one's probably going to be $10. That's about the price that it's at in Japan. We haven't gotten a US dollar price yet, but $10 seems like what they're probably going to aim for.
I hope it's not any higher than that, because if it is, I'd say it's a ripoff.
I mean, yeah, it just seems like a tech demo.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're actually telling people to pay for a tech demo, yeah, seems a bit greedy, which... apparently a lot of people felt was a theme of this particular presentation.
I can see that. I kind of share that same sentiment.
Like, they didn't announce prices in the presentation, but when they revealed them afterwards, a lot of people just hit the roof. I mean, the Nintendo Switch 2 itself being $450, that's not too bad, considering I feel like this is probably more powerful than a lot of people thought it would be. But... then some of the games being $80, that's just... oof.
That's very expensive. Oh, maracas.
But I do feel like it's nice that they have a tech demo to show off all the little bits and features of this. And even
I do appreciate it.
Even in this, you're seeing little things here and there. Like they mentioned HD Rumble 2. It's actually going to have improved HD Rumble, which I don't know what that means, but I'm curious to try it out.
I just wish we didn't have to pay for a tech demo.
Yeah.
It really should just be already with the game.
I agree, but Nintendo thinks they can get away with it, so Nintendo gonna do what Nintendo gonna do. So here they're showing off the game cards are the same size, but they're red now, and this machine will require the microSD Express cards, which are more expensive, and currently they only just announced, like the same day as this Nintendo Direct, a 1 terabyte microSD Express card for $200, which that's pricey, but my concern is, I need more file size. I'm already full up on my Nintendo Switch 1 just with the Nintendo Switch 1 games.
Yeah.
And I think my card is 1.5 terabytes.
I wish there was some sort of external storage for you.
Yeah. And so now they're going over the new Pro Controller, which has these programmable buttons.
Which I will accidentally press on them.
Well, you could just not set them up for anything.
But I will accidentally press them.
That's kind of a feature that you see in a lot of third-party controllers now, is those programmable buttons. And it has the built-in headset port, which is nice. Again, something I really wish the original Nintendo Switch had on its Pro Controller. Yeah.
What's going on with this?
I think now we're getting to, the release date. So it's coming out on June 5th.
I'm very surprised it's releasing in the summer and not the holidays.
I'm not. I mean, this kind of follows with the original Nintendo Switch, which released, I think, early to mid-year, if memory serves.
I don't even remember, but I think it's actually a smart decision to do it in the summer.
Yeah, it means you get ahead of the holiday rush. All the early adopters can get in first, and then you get another rush during the holidays.
Yes, exactly.
And now they're going over the different game types. So this,
which I thought was so redundant.
I don't, because you have backwards compatibility, but then you have specific Nintendo Switch 2 edition games, which if you have the original game, you can update the original game to it for a fee, of course.
Yeah.
And this is another thing that caused some controversy, because like Super Mario Party Jamboree, if you have the original one, you'll pay an undisclosed update fee. I'm going to guess it's probably about $20, because if you don't and just want to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 version, you're looking at $80.
Yeah, I'd rather just pay the $20 upgrade fee.
Well, that's just it is. Yeah, you'd want to do that if you have the original. But if you're buying it brand new, $20 to buy a new game.
Or $80.
Or, sorry, yeah, you're right, $80. And I can see why they did it, because it's like, well, the original game is $60 and the upgrade is $20.
I mean,
but the issue there is, you're talking about some games like Kirby or Breath of the Wild that are years old, and Nintendo has this thing where they never lower their prices. So they're tacking that $20 on to a game that's already ridiculously overpriced.
Yes, but that's with the added hope that some things have been tweaked. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're definitely tweaking some stuff. Like we're seeing with Mario Party here, you know, they have the new mini games and the new camera support. And I'm actually really excited about this, because I said in my review of this game, I think this is the best Mario Party game they have ever made.
I agree.
And they're going to be making it even better. They're adding in, you know, improved visuals, but also this
fun.
camera
this
stuff.
This looks fun.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that. I like that a lot.
So, will this be worth $20 to me? I think absolutely yes.
I think for me, yes.
Will it be worth $80 to someone who never bought the original? Ugh, I don't know.
I think it'll be worth it. It's a fun game.
You think it'll be worth $80?
I think it'll be worth $80 for me anyway.
Yeah.
This mode right here reminds me of being back in the arcades.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're playing with another person, you're sitting on like a coaster looking thing.
Although it does kind of get me thinking, It's kind of a pity that they never got the motion controls to be super accurate on the Switch. I feel like it was better on the Wii, which meant that any light gun games never really were one-to-one. I mean, they're kind of getting around that now by being like, nope, this is a mouse game now. But it's like, I'm looking at that and you're talking about shooting gallery games. I'm like, man, it'd be nice if you could just aim the Joy-Con at the screen. So I think it's interesting they led with Mario Party, because I think the big one that everyone was really wanting to see upgraded is the next one we're about to see. The next pair of games we're about to see.
I'm not surprised they led with that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
So the two big Zelda games from the Nintendo Switch are getting updates.
I might have to replay both of them from the beginning.
They're such huge games. I'm not sure I want to commit to that.
I might have to.
They do look so pretty with the
gorgeous.
The HDR and the higher resolutions, and the bump to the frame rates is going to be huge.
Yes, because there's still frame rate drops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like in that Korok Forest, which they showed off in the trailer. They knew what people were thinking, like, oh, that Korok Forest, it just plummets.
I don't understand this app, the Nintendo Switch app, where it's like guiding you to certain things.
Yeah, they basically have like Siri in Hyrule.
Yeah, I don't. You're right, it is Siri.
Now, they went over some of the features this is going to have more in depth in a separate trailer. But it's like, there are going to be new places in the world where you discover, like, voice recordings that Zelda left for you. And
that's true. Okay, this part with the QR codes.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like, okay, the other stuff, I'm not so sure I need Siri. But being able to have that guy send me his helicopter design in Tears of the Kingdom, that's great.
Yes.
I think... I don't know how many people are going to go back to it, but yeah, those people who do are going to have a good time with that.
I'm not really interested in this.
For me, I'm curious to see what they do. I really liked Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and this basically looks like it's just an expansion. It's a new,
it looks like it, yeah.
A new additional campaign mode. And I think the little crystal effects here look nice. I don't know that I have too much to say about it. It looks interesting.
It reminds me of the Terrastalize thing in Pokemon.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that, but that makes sense.
That's what it reminds me of.
And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which we still do not have a release date on. But the Switch 2 version is going to have mouse controls, and it's going to have both a performance and a... what did they call it? Effects mode, quality. So one is going to support 4K 60 frames. One is supporting 1080 120 frames. And I'm like, I would accept either of those. Either of those is going to be better than what the original Switch is going to get, and looks so pretty.
So wait, okay, is this an entirely new Pokemon game?
Oh, you haven't been following this?
No, I have not.
This was announced, a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
This is, you remember Pokemon Legends Arceus?
Yes.
This is a sequel to that. And it's coming to the original Switch, but also to Switch 2.
Okay. I really hope it...
Well, I mean, at the very least, they'll get the visuals looking decent on Switch 2.
What was the open world one after Arceus that bombed?
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. That bombed so bad.
It didn't bomb. It sold, like, incredibly well. It just, it did not perform well.
No.
Which is a pity, because I thought it was a fun game, but yeah, the performance was not great.
It wasn't. I was very severely disappointed with the performance of that game. So I'm hoping this next Pokemon game will be fun.
I mean, if it still has problems on Switch 2, then it's just like there's no helping Game Freak at this point. Especially when now they have competition in things like Pal World.
Yeah. This I am excited about.
That's funny. You are the first person I've heard actually who seems really pumped for this game. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm going, this looks like it'll probably be fun. I cannot imagine many people are super interested in this because it's like I've never heard in my life heard someone say, you know what, I would really like a Paralympics game.
So, I like this one because it reminds me of Rocket League.
Yes, it does have a lot of...
but I also see it as, it's another way to get some exercise in, you know?
Now, to be clear, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying, it has robots in wheelchairs. This looks dumb. No, I actually do think this looks like it could be fun. Although I will say, the presentation in this, like the bland-looking backgrounds...
that could be better, yeah.
Yeah. I hope they have some more interesting locales to look at.
And just different arenas, too. That would be fun.
Like, this looks so colorless.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the red, the blue, and a bunch of gray.
Yeah, summer 2025. I wonder if it means it might launch on the same day as the Switch 2?
No. They would have said it was a launch game if it was.
Right. That's true. Yeah, see, like, imagine having to do that constantly.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm curious to try it. I feel like it'll be a very unique experience.
I think so, too.
Which also shows off, like, have you ever played a game with 2 mice before?
Nope.
So now they're getting into the third-party stuff, and of course they start with, like, one of the big knockout things, which is, Elden Ring.
Which I actually have not played, because every time I see a game with the title Souls-like, my mind immediately goes, okay, this game is going to make me rage. It's going to make me rage.
I can see that, but you play Monster Hunter, so you might actually be able to make it work for you.
Maybe. But I've heard very good things about it. I'm not so sure it's my genre. Are you going to try this game?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Now, I hear Digital Foundry said that the footage here, they suspect, was originally recorded in 60 frames and then, like, reduced or compressed down to 30. I don't know why that is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and now we're on
so excited about Hades, too.
Yeah, the original Hades was so great.
Oh, it's so good.
I want to say I thought that they were releasing this on the original Switch also, but I don't recall if that's true or not.
I'm getting it on the Switch, too. I still haven't finished Hades 1. I'm close to it, but I just haven't gotten the motivation to finish it, but it's still such a good game. And the voice acting and the music, spectacular.
Yeah, that's another one I'm looking forward to. I've heard really good things about this Street Fighter game. I have not yet played it, but I've heard, like, some people were saying, this is a Game of the Year contender. It's so good. And
really,
I don't know that all this motion sensing stuff they're adding for the Switch 2 is going to really dramatically change it all that much. It's cool that they're releasing amiibos for it, I guess.
Oh, there are amiibos. I didn't even see that.
And amiibo cards too.
Oh, okay.
They're just going through this now. So this is a sequel to Daemon Ex Machina, and I'm kind of surprised that they actually did one because I don't feel like many people were super thrilled with the original game. It looks good, but
I have no comments. I'm not familiar with this game.
I wanted to take a moment to talk about the backward compatibility because we're talking about Hades 2. And I think that's releasing on Switch. And if it's on both Switch and Switch 2, are they selling 2 different versions of it? I wonder. Are they...
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they'll handle games that are releasing on both platforms. I'm really curious about that.
Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to, like, Nintendo doing their, pay us $20 to upgrade an older game thing. If it's just the same game, but maybe you get better performance, I wonder if you'll be able to just buy it once and use it on both platforms.
Oh, kitty.
Now they're getting to, what was this called? Split Fiction, right?
Yeah, it's currently out on the PC right now. I haven't tried it, but it's gotten good reviews so far.
Oh, yeah, I've heard really good things about this. And this is from the makers of It Takes Two, which was an amazing co-op game. So I'm not surprised at all to hear that this game is doing well.
Oh, the scenery is great, too.
Oh, yeah. And that one's coming on launch.
Okay.
And now we have a couple of sports series announcements, because they didn't actually reveal any actual
No,
games
they
here.
didn't.
I know you and I are not big on
No,
any of the EA
we're
Sports
not.
stuff, and later on they'll go over the 2K
Mhm.
Sports stuff, and it's like, it's good that it's getting that support, because the original Switch didn't have Madden, but it's kind of telling that they didn't actually show.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, and this is another launch game. I don't know how many people are going to want to go back, but at the same time, it's kind of a family-friendly system. And
So, I am a bit of a Potterhead, but I didn't get very far in Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know why.
I thought the Switch version of this game definitely did not look great. It was impressive that it worked at all.
Yeah.
And now we're getting, like I said, we're just blasting through games here. That was a consistent theme I felt in this Direct, was just, they just kept hitting with game after game after game. I'm not sure I've ever seen a console reveal where they had so many rapid-fire game announcements.
Which I'm okay with.
Now, Digital Foundry said that the footage we're seeing here was actually recorded on PC.
Oh.
I don't doubt that the Switch version will probably look comparable, or Switch 2 rather, will look comparable to this. And this is another one that is also releasing on the original Switch. So
okay.
Again, I'm like, do I need to buy two versions to play it on both? I don't know. And now we're on to Hitman World of Assassination.
I'm not familiar with this one.
I've only briefly played a game in the Hitman series.
Oh, the lighting is beautiful, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think parts of it look nice, parts of it, but
this was so cheesy.
someone was wondering if they added the banana just for the Switch 2 version, like a Mario Kart Donkey Kong reference. And then they announced, but didn't really show anything of this 007 game that they're working on, which I think was announced before this.
The only James Bond game I ever liked, I think, was on the PS2.
That's funny, because the big game that everyone thinks of is GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of, is GoldenEye.
And you thought it was on the PS2?
It's been a while, okay?
So it makes sense that they would announce this in a Nintendo thing, because I think the biggest video game tie to James Bond is with that Nintendo 64 game. So this one really surprised me, because it does not look at all graphically impressive like you would expect a new generation game. Like, they have these chibi characters.
Wait, is this... Okay, but this is a remake of the game.
It is.
Right? Okay.
Yes. I mean, I still think it's going to be a good game. I'm still interested in getting it. It just surprises me that they would make this an announcement for a new, visually stunning game platform. I saw that thing. It makes me wonder if that's like a mouse control thing where you move the mice to fit where the bar is.
Flying Fairy. Available.
And that's a launch game too.
Oh,
yeah.
your bank account is going to hurt so much.
I'm not going to get every game at launch.
Oh, your bank account is going to hurt so much.
So this Yakuza game, Yakuza 0, and I'm not sure what they're doing for the director's cut. I heard someone say, what could they add in the director's cut? The original game was 100 hours.
Wow.
But I hear this is a great game if you want to start the series. This is a good one to enter in on, I hear. I'm not really big on the Yakuza series. I can see the appeal. I get why people like it. It's just not a big thing that I love. Let's see. Oh, and now we're getting to one of Nintendo's, like, they loaned out their IP for a game. And once I saw Koei Tecmo, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a Warriors game. And here I was thinking like a Xenoblade Warriors, but nope, they're going back to Hyrule Warriors.
I am so excited about this. We get to play as Zelda!
Now, the previous Hyrule Warriors game, Age of Calamity, was a really great game, but the performance on Switch just chugs. This was one of the games that had the most performance issues on Switch, other than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which were a nightmare. So it's good to see that this game was running so smoothly
I'm so
on
excited.
the Switch too.
I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This looks like it'll be
I
fun.
love the character design
And
so much.
the previous games had really great co-op too. So if you're excited for this, I feel like this is a game you and I are going to play in co-op.
Probably. Oh, it's so gorgeous.
And it's cool that they're going to let you play as the champions from that, historical era in the game.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be like a hack and slash most of the game. I don't know. Like, look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
The previous game was, too.
Okay.
It's very action-focused. Well, you weren't thinking this is going to be like a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom, were you?
I was wondering about that.
Like, the story is tied to Tears of the Kingdom, but this is very action-focused.
Okay.
It's like beating up on hundreds of enemies at a time.
That's going to be so fun.
Good times. Coming this winter.
That's probably going to be a big seller for them during the holiday.
It could be.
I'm expecting it to be.
I'm not sure what their biggest game in the winter is going to be. Probably still Mario Kart, actually.
Maybe.
I mean, if they're including the bundled console sales, then I could see that being easily their best seller. Incidentally, on that Mario Kart bundle, that's a limited time thing. They're not just going to keep selling that bundle in perpetuity.
I thought they would. Okay.
It might be the kind of thing they bring back in the holidays like they do with the Nintendo Switch 1 Mario Kart bundle.
Oh, I did not know that.
So now they're announcing that they're adding GameCube games to, if you have the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. I'm currently subscribed to the expansion pack. As I understand it,
I am not.
You're not. Okay.
I'm just subscribed to the base.
I was telling Jen that she might want to upgrade to the expansion pack because outside of this direct, they also announced that the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are going to be like, you're going to get a free upgrade if you have the expansion pack, or no additional cost, I should say, because the expansion pack is a subscription. And so with that, you'd also get these GameCube games. They have Zelda, Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX, which I think those are pretty good games to start with. At the same time, I also feel like this is kind of a monkey's paw wish, because the Wii U version of Zelda Wind Waker had upgrades to the game that had a lot of quality of life features that you're not going to see in an up-resed port of the GameCube game. I mean, so we'll see. It's a disappointment that we didn't get a port of that version. And it would have been nice to see an upgraded or HD version of F-Zero GX. But even so, that game, even just the GameCube game, as long as they're improving the resolution, like I think they mentioned something about that, is going to be still great looking on a Switch 2. And they're adding the ability to adjust your controls for a change, which took them long enough.
Yeah.
They're going to do that for the Nintendo 64 also, but only on Nintendo Switch 2 for some reason. It's weird. Know. I feel like I'm having to talk at a rapid pace just to keep up with the video. There is so much being announced here.
I mean, I think you're doing fine.
Like, we got Luigi's Mansion is going to be coming.
The Pokemon games
the Pokemon games. Mario Strikers. Oh, and they're releasing a GameCube controller too, which, hey, probably look, another thing I'm going to have to buy.
Again, I feel so bad for your bank account.
Although, actually, no. If they let you change up the controls, maybe not. But the thing with the GameCube controller is, unlike the Switch, and they've shown the Switch 2 controller is also not going to have analog triggers, which is really important for racing games like F-Zero. So I wonder if other game companies are going to make use of that GameCube controller to get the analog triggers from it.
I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
But do you think it's going to come with the analog trigger? With the GameCube controller? Okay.
I mean, especially because they showed off games like Super Mario Sunshine, which really uses the analog triggers, like to get different amounts of stream on your water gun.
So I never played Undertale.
Oh, you didn't?
I know it's kind of has a bit of a cult following, maybe? I don't know.
Obviously it has a super retro look to it. I don't know how much I can tell you about the game without spoiling it, but basically it has some really creative ideas about how to involve the player in the game and how to give them ethical choices that really matter. In fact, I think a lot of people point to Undertale as the game if you want a game where your ethical choices through the game really matter in a way that impacts the player.
Okay.
I have not played the first 2 chapters of Deltarune. I've kind of been holding off until they had the entire game released.
Borderlands 4.
A lot of people I've heard in reaction videos seemed like they just kind of groaned at this, and that's a shame because I love the Borderlands series.
Okay, so I love the Borderlands series, but I feel like, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, I think the Borderlands series peaked at Borderlands 2 with Handsome Jack.
Yeah.
And it just dived after that because he was such a good villain.
He was an amazing villain.
Oh,
he made that
gosh.
game. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
I thought Borderlands, the pre-sequel, was very good. Borderlands 3, I'm going off of the Nintendo Switch version, which had performance issues. Again, I keep talking about performance issues.
That is a big thing that was bad about the Switch.
That's why we need a Switch too.
Yeah. Civilization. So I did play a couple of the Civ games. Lately, RTSs aren't holding my attention. So I don't know how I feel about this. I don't even know what the reviews are like. And look, we have another sports game.
I've never been big on the Civ series. I get why other people are into it. It just never really clicked with me. But I feel like it was so important to have it here. Number one, because it's showing that third-party games also have an upgrade path.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned you can upgrade to the Switch 2 version from the Switch 1. But also because it showed how important that mouse support is going to be, because they're talking about it there, and it's like you just opened up pretty much every PC game for a possible port.
So this looks cute.
This is where the stream, when they were streaming it, died.
Yeah, I feel bad.
And it's a shame because it's like the next 3 games got cut off from the stream. And that was like big announcements too. This one, it looks cute. I'm curious to try it. I'm not super excited about it, but yeah, it looks like a game you and I might enjoy playing co-op.
Maybe. I feel like there are other co-op games that I'd like to try.
And I thought the original Enter the Gungeon was fine. It was fun.
I've never played it. It's a bullet hell game, right?
It's a bullet hell 2-stick shooter. And there are other 2-stick shooters I liked more on the original Switch, but this one was good too. So yeah, I'm sure the sequel will be fine. I don't got much else to say about this. And then we get to
Astroneer.
This Astroneer spin-off, I guess.
I don't know. It is on the original Astroneer game is on PC. I've never played it, but so far good reviews as well. So I'm curious how this will perform.
Yeah, I don't know. What type of game is Astroneer? I haven't played it yet.
It's an exploration game, kind of similar in the same vein as No Man's Sky.
So I wonder if this will also be that, or because they didn't call it Astroneer 2, they called it like, what was it, Star Seeker or something like that. Yeah. So I wonder if the gameplay will be different. Hey, I called it.
Yeah. Coming 2026. So we're gonna be getting more updates about this one for sure.
Yeah, probably later on. And this one was cut off from the stream, which is a real shame because this is one of the biggest announcements I felt they had. They're bringing Cyberpunk, which, if the video here is an indication, looks pretty great. And they're bringing it at launch on Switch 2.
Oh, so I haven't played Cyberpunk yet. I am not big on the setting. Yeah. Cyberpunk, sci-fi stuff, not really my setting.
I've never been huge on cyberpunk settings as well. I do like open world games, so
I do like them too, but even then that wasn't it wasn't tempting me.
And now we're getting to Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I actually have not yet played.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, I've heard that. And it's interesting that they started with Remake and didn't jump to Rebirth or have like a Remake and Rebirth package. But as I understand it, Sony still has exclusive rights to the Rebirth for at least like a year or two. I don't know.
Okay.
So it might be, they're like, we'll get you Remake now while we can. And as soon as we're allowed to give you Rebirth, we'll do that. And now we're getting to a sizzle reel. You are a silly girl. I know nothing about this Kanitsugami. Looks fine. I think it's absurd that we got Hollow Knight Silk Song in a sizzle reel. They showed like 3 seconds of it.
Story of Seasons.
Like, Silk Song is such a major game. They could have made it its own thing. And even if they only just said, well, it's coming out in 2025, it still would have been a huge announcement.
I'm surprised they are putting Wild Hearts into this.
I have not played this. What type of game is Wild Hearts?
It's kind of like Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Puyo Puyo Tetris was a launch game on the original Switch, so of course they got to have a Switch 2 launch game. This one looks great. It's being made by the same folks who made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
I love that artwork.
Star Wars Outlaws did not sell too well, I'm hearing, so they definitely need the extra sales from Switch 2. And I think that Star Wars Outlaws is the one Ubisoft game in this entire presentation, which is surprising. Oh, Fast Fusion. I had to mention this. The one that was on Switch was amazing. I'm so looking forward to Fast Fusion.
Okay.
And a lot of the games they're showing off here were in the previous Nintendo Switch 1 Direct. So it's like, okay, No Sleep for Kaname Date, the Shin Megami Tensei game. Reanimal is new. That's interesting. Of course, you got to have Fortnite because a zillion players will play it on Switch too.
Yeah.
And the original Switch did not have the best performance. I'm excited to see we're getting Arcade Archives 2 because that opens up a new generation of arcade games I'm really looking forward to trying.
Tamagotchi Plaza.
They're just rapid firing through this.
Human Fall Flat.
I heard the original Human Fall Flat is super, super like a mega seller game.
Hilarious game.
Oh, I reviewed it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right, what's next?
Oh, so many. When you saw it, you know what's next.
No, I don't. I actually don't remember what's next.
So, I think Jenn and I, for this one, are both a little, like, we're not personally super excited for it.
Oh, I'm not familiar with this series
Oh, it's not a series. It's a brand new IP.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay.
This is being made by FromSoft. It's The Duskbloods. And I've never been the biggest Souls-like fan, just like you're not a big Souls-like fan. I do think it's really cool that Nintendo managed to secure a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive FromSoft game. That's pretty amazing.
I'm curious about it, but aesthetically, it's not my setting.
Yeah, this isn't really for me either.
Yeah, it's a little eccentric for me. But we'll see. I mean...
But for a lot of other people, this is the game that made the Direct for them. This is
really?
Like, oh yeah. Are you kidding? Like there are tons of fans of the FromSoft Souls-like games.
Oh.
So to see that Nintendo Switch 2 was getting its own Souls-like, you know, like a lot of people are looking at this and comparing it to the PlayStation game Bloodborne, which still has not gotten a port to any other platform. It hasn't gotten a port to PC even.
Interesting.
And so they're like, is this Bloodborne 2? I was looking at this and being a dunce and not knowing any of that stuff. I was like, I heard Lies of P was really good. Is this Lies of P? In retrospect, I don't think that actually is a FromSoft game, but I was like, I don't know these games. This is a game I heard of. And I don't know.
I can see people getting excited about it, but it's not for me.
Yeah,
it doesn't stoke the flames for me. I will say the setting looks gorgeous. Character design, oh god, that thing. It's so creepy. The character design is interesting.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like we're like the one podcast looking at this going, yeah, I'm not so interested in the one game that everybody else thought made the Direct.
It's not for me.
I mean, I'm still going to give it its fair shot. I'm still going to review it. Oh, and the big thing with this is they revealed after the direct, this is a online multiplayer player versus environment game, PvPvE.
Oh, okay.
And apparently, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Hidetaka Miyazaki, the director of this game, said they really wanted to try and experiment with a multiplayer game in this genre. So this is something they apparently approached Nintendo with and said, hey, we'd like to try this.
Oh,
and I'm sure at that point Nintendo was salivating and being like, yeah, you can try that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll totally let you try that. We'll give you your own trailer in the Nintendo Direct even.
Oh my gosh.
So,
oh god, he's
yeah, a lot of people are really going to be watching this one closely.
Not my thing, but I hope it does really well for the people that are excited about it.
Yeah.
What's this next one? Oh, that creature was so cute. I have to say,
I feel like
cute.
They added this creature into this presentation just to be like, okay, this is a Nintendo thing. We got to give him something cute, I guess. Like, throw him a bone.
Oh. I can't remember what's next. Do you?
I do, but I've also seen this, repeatedly now. So they're talking about how they're still going to have other presentations between now and launch, and one of them's going to be this game. I'm like, yeah, of course. They're going to want to highlight that as much as they can. Just like they highlighted Monster Hunter Rise when it came to Switch.
Yeah. Oh, I hope Monster Hunter comes to the Switch too at some point.
So the next game we're seeing here, we only have 2 games left in this direct. And when I first started seeing this, I probably thought, as a lot of people did, oh, are they announcing a new Smash Brothers game? Because Kirby is always the very first character they show in Smash Brothers games, because he's like the almost the series mascot in a way.
Yeah, in a way.
And I think a lot of people were hoping for that. I was hoping for that. I love the Smash series. And I think the direction that this took was not what people were expecting at all.
Okay, I was expecting a Kirby game. I wasn't expecting a Smash game.
I mean, when it went on like this, and you just kept seeing Kirby trying to start up his star here, I was like, okay, I guess maybe this is a Kirby game. And then it zooms in real close. I'm like, what the heck are they doing? Why do we care to see, like, the butt end of Kirby's spaceship here? And then you see the engine pop out. I'm like, oh, this is a Kirby's Air Ride sequel. That was a GameCube game that has a cult following, and I'm just surprised that they would make a sequel to it 20 years later, because it was not like a mega huge hit.
I mean, to be fair, Star Fox was a huge hit back in the day.
Yeah, then why didn't they announce a Star Fox game?
I don't know. I really wish they would make it.
But I know the reason why this happened. This happened because Masahiro Sakurai, the director of this game, the guy who made the Smash Brothers games. After Smash Brothers Ultimate was finished, he probably had his pick of projects, and Kirby's his baby. He's like, I'm sure he specifically wanted to make that game.
Yeah.
So I can't begrudge them. This is clearly a passion project of the guy who's making the game. This is the game he wanted to make. So, if that results in a really awesome game, I'm not going to fault it, but I guess we'll see. And then the final announcement, I saw this and I'm like, this is 3D Mario, right? It's got to be 3D Mario. I mean, we know there's going to be a big new Mario game on the system. And I was wrong.
I had no idea what to expect when I saw this. I had no idea.
I'm still looking at this thinking, this could totally be a Mario game.
I had no idea.
And then this started happening. I'm like, is that Mario punching through the wall? That'd be different for him. But nope, we've got Donkey Kong. And a lot of people have started asking for a new 3D Donkey Kong game, because the only other one we got was Donkey Kong 64 on the Nintendo 64 decades ago. And that one was kind of a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
They're clearly going in a different direction.
So I feel like, I feel like this is going to be a performance test for this Switch too. Because see all of these little parts and pieces.
All the land deformation. Yes. I saw someone make the joke earlier, and it's so good I had to repeat it here. Red Faction Gorilla.
Wow.
Because of the land deformation. But I think that the title they came up with for this game, Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's a cute title.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at this being like, I'm not sure this is a big system seller game. And I don't think it is, but I do think it looks good, and it'll probably be a good game. I think the 3D Mario team was probably working on this one. So it'll probably be a little bit like the 3D Mario games, but they're clearly going in a different direction with, Donkey Kong bashing through everything, bashing through into the ground or through the sides of cliff sides.
I love the character designs of the villains, by the way.
And the animations are really expressive too. That's really great. Like just Donkey Kong's expressions through this, all the little faces he makes. It's cute.
Okay, that's coming out in July of this year. Okay.
So then we get to the final announcement of the Direct, which is the different bundles that they're going to have this in. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah, go ahead, because we're going to fly through everything.
So they announced one bundle, which just had the system and the Joy-Cons and the Joy-Con grip and the dock and, all the stuff that comes with a Nintendo Switch, basically. And then they announced another bundle that has all of that and Mario Kart, a digital copy of Mario Kart. And they didn't announce the prices in this Direct. They only announced them afterward, which a lot of people were thinking was because maybe they were nervous about the price.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have been nervous about the price of the console, given everything they showed off here. $450 for the console, $500 for the bundle with Mario Kart. Doesn't seem that bad. The issue is the prices of everything else.
Yeah.
Like that Donkey Kong game we just saw, that's $70. Mario Kart, if you buy it on its own, if you want a physical cartridge, that's $80. And I'm sure it'll sell because it's Nintendo and it's Mario Kart, and Mario Kart always sells. But, oh, wow, that price is just... Ugh.
And, okay, so we talked a little bit after the Direct, and you were telling me about this reserve list for the console, right?
Oh, yes. So right after this, they announced that you can register your interest in Nintendo Switch 2 on their website, and they would apparently look at your history playing Nintendo Switch 1 and prioritize people who have a lot of playtime on the original Switch. And to me, this seemed like an ingenious way of going about it because they're trying to stop scalpers.
Yes, that is smart.
And given how much time I've put into the Nintendo Switch, I'm like, oh, so yeah, that's easy. I'm definitely going to get on that list. But then a few days afterwards, they announced that while they were originally planning on starting pre-sales on April 9th, that they were going to delay that because of the Trump tariffs. And I'm not going to get into the politics of things here. That's not really our focus on this. But I was
needless to say, it's going to affect how the Nintendo Switch is going to...
I was kind of wondering how much that was going to affect Nintendo and the rollout of the Switch 2. Now, they have said they are not delaying the launch of the Switch 2. Regardless of everything else, that is still coming out on June 5th. But it's now kind of up in the air how the pre-sale stuff is going to work out.
Either way, you're still getting it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as I can, which is the thing. The rumor is that they have had a good production run on this, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get a hold of one. But I mean, it's still a system launch. I'm still worried about being able to get my hands on one on launch day. So
I think you'll be able to get one.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? So I have an idea of what peripherals you're going to get.
Oh, I'm probably going to end up getting all of them, unfortunately. So I want to, because, I'm going to be reviewing Nintendo Switch 2 games, I'm going to want to have, if I can get two Nintendo Switch 2 systems, I'll want a couple of them to test out the multiplayer features. Like, I'll need to get so they have the camera that they showed off in this, and there was another camera that they announced after this that's shaped like a piranha plant, which is cute.
Oh, okay.
So I'm probably going to get one of each of those so that I can, hook one up in my bedroom and one up in the kind of front room, the family area or whatever we have. I'm definitely going to want to try out the Pro Controller.
In terms of launch games.
So in terms of launch games, the ones that I personally am looking at, definitely going to get Mario Kart because that's coming with the system.
With the bundle.
Probably Elden Ring, probably Cyberpunk. Elden Ring isn't a launch game, so thankfully I can wait on that.
Okay.
But Cyberpunk is a launch game, so probably that. Probably Split Fiction because I really enjoy playing co-op games with you. The Fast Fusion game is also coming out on launch, and the original was amazing, so I'm definitely getting that. Even though I think it's absurd that they're selling it for money, I'm probably going to get the Nintendo Switch 2 tour game that they're doing. At the very least, because I feel like that's going to give me a much better idea of what kind of features the Switch 2 has. Hold on. I have a list of all the launch games here. So let me go over them real quick. So, the launch of the Switch 2. These are all games that are going to be out on June 5th. Mario Kart World, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, Street Fighter 6 Standard Edition, Split Fiction, Hogwarts Legacy, Hitman World of Assassination, Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Deltarune Chapters 1 through 4, Survival Kids, Cyberpunk 2077, Kanitsugami Path of the Goddess, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition, Fast Fusion, Fortnite, and Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer. So going through this list, I'm getting Mario Kart, I'm getting the Welcome Tour. I might get Street Fighter 6. I hear that's really good. Probably getting Split Fiction. I'm not sure about Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not sure about Hitman. Those I might wait for sales. Bravely Default, I don't know. Probably not getting Yakuza 0 on launch. Probably not getting Deltarune or Survival Kids on launch. Probably getting Cyberpunk. Probably going to hold off on Kanitsugami. Probably going to hold off on Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. Rune Factory, probably going to hold off. I'm definitely not getting Nobunaga's Ambition at launch. I'm just not a huge fan of that series. Wow, the Mario Kart stuff is really immersive today. Fast Fusion, I already said I'm getting. Fortnite is a free-to-play game, so I'm going to be reviewing that at launch too, I'm sure, or as soon after as I can. And yeah, I'm definitely going to get Ridge Racer as soon as I can as well, because it'll be cool to try one of the Arcade Archives 2 games. I'm really excited for that. So I think that goes over most of it. Hopefully this has all been interesting for you, and I guess we'll see how things go at Nintendo Switch 2 launch.
See you guys then.
All right. Catch you later. Bye.